The American elections. Mark tells us about his country. American elections. Hello, my name is Mark and I am 15. All the world is speaking about the American elections, but do you know how they work? It's quite interesting. First of all, you must know that in order to become President of the United States, you must be an American citizen and you must be a resident. You should be at least 35 years old. Political parties. Here in the USA, we have two main parties. Perhaps you know their names. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party. We have been having the same two dominant parties since the 1850s. The Democratic Party is centre-left and liberal. The Republican Party is centre-right and conservative. But do you know what liberal and conservative mean? It has to do with the views on society. A conservative party values traditions, religious and civil views that you can find in your history, whereas a liberal party looks for new ideas and wants to innovate and move forward. A brief history. As you probably know, we were once British colonies. Do you know what is a colony? It is the opposite of a free state. Colony means that we did not rule our land. Our laws were made in Britain. Our head of state was the British king. We had to pay lots of taxes to Britain, but we did not have the right to decide anything. No taxation without representation, said our first politicians, as they refused to pay taxes to Britain because colonies did not have any representatives at the British Parliament. Being represented. Do you know how modern democracy works? In ancient times, when people had to decide about something important, they met in a square and voted by raising their hands. There were only a few citizens, so it was easy to count their votes and understand what the majority wanted. But now it's impossible because there are too many of us, so we do not vote about important decisions, but we vote for representatives. Representatives are people that represent us in the parliament and decide on our behalf about the important issues. How do we vote? So now you know that for our ancestors, being represented in the parliament was very important, and they started a war against Britain because they believed that it was very unjust paying taxes without being politically represented. And I really think that they were right, don't you? So this was the beginning of the USA, United States of America. Voting is so important because it is the only way to have a say about important decisions that could affect your everyday life. Do you want to know about our voting system? The Parliament. First of all, you must know that we have two houses, the Houses of Representatives and the Senate. We are a very big country, formed by many states. In some states, there are millions of citizens. In others, a few people. But we think that everyone should be represented. So even the smallest states have at least one representative in the House of Representatives. We divide the states into districts, and each district can send one representative to the Parliament. Then we have another house, the Senate. Each state sends 2 senators, so all the states are equal. The President. And how do we choose the President? This is interesting, so listen to me carefully. Each state has a number of electors that is equal to the number of representatives and the number of senators combined. Let's make an example. California has 53 districts, so the state sends 53 representatives to the Parliament. and 2 senators. This means that California has 55 electors. A small number of people live in Alaska, so the state has 1 district. So there's 1 representative from Alaska and 2 senators. This means that Alaska has 3 electors. The Electoral College. The electors form the Electoral College, which is the group of people that vote for the president. The electors are 538, based on the numbers of representatives and senators. People vote on election day, but they cannot vote for the president directly. In every state, we see what the majority says, and the electors of the state will vote for the president wanted by the majority of people that live in their state. This is called majority takes all. If the majority of citizens in a state votes for 1 person, all electors of that state vote for him. So you see that the big states, who have more electors, decide who is going to be president, because they have more electors. It should reflect the opinion of the majority, but this actually gives more weight to the opinion of those who live in the big states.